Mr. Speaker, you probably haven't heard of Tamia Sanders. This young woman here, who's 14 years old, she was killed while sitting on her porch next to her mother on August 12th in Jacksonville. You probably didn't hear that Tamia was an honors student or that she had a beautiful smile. There were no moments of silence for Tamia on the House floor because she was just another little black girl killed by street violence. You probably haven't heard about Willow. She's 2 years old. She and her mother, her 8-year-old sister, Liana, and her 6-year-old brother, Mark Jr., were killed. Willow was just 2 years old when her father killed her along with the rest of the family on August 6th in Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania. And you probably haven't heard that Willow had survived a heart transplant when she was 6 days old, and her mother fought hard to make sure Willow had enough medication. Willow didn't get a moment of silence on the House floor either, because she was just another child killed by someone that was supposed to love her. You definitely didn't hear about the 2 people found dead in a house in Mead Valley, California on August 5th. No one published their names or their ages or whether anyone noticed they were dead. The same can be said for an unidentified woman killed on the streets in Los Angeles on August 8th, 2 unidentified men killed in a parking lot on August 13th in Milwaukee, and 2 unidentified women killed on the streets on August 28th in St. Louis. They certainly didn't get a moment of silence on the House floor because they were just more anonymous victims of gun violence. There have been 322 mass shootings this year, more shootings than there are days in the year so far. 416 people gunned down, 1,161 people who've been injured. And yet, we only tell their stories if the killing is particularly large, like the Pulse nightclub, or particularly terrifying and political, like the San Bernardino terrorist attacks. Daily mass shootings have somehow become commonplace. Their victims nameless and mourned only by those who knew them. But I say this is a national tragedy, and we should all mourn. We should grieve for Antonio Hinkle, who was 32 when he was killed at a cookout on August 27th in Brighton, Alabama. He died pushing children out of the way of gunfire and left behind 3 children of his own. And we should grieve for Isaiah Solomon, 15, and Tafari West, 22, who were killed when someone opened fire on a vigil for another dead teenager on August 27th in Miami, Florida. And we should grieve for Shannon Randall, 35, her boyfriend Joseph Turner, her brother Robert Brown, and their relatives Justin Reed, 23, and Chelsea Reed, 22, who were killed in their sleep by a friend's boyfriend on August 20th. In Citronelle, Alabama. They were sheltering their friend who had fled the abusive relationship. Chelsea was 5 months pregnant when she and the others were gunned down. These are the people who don't make the national news. The girl walking to her neighborhood convenience store, the boy playing in the front lawn, the woman trying to leave an abusive relationship, the grandfather sitting on his porch. They were robbed of life because this Congress refuses to act. Colleagues, we must honor them by speaking out. Now is the time for a vote. Let's lift the ban on research on gun violence. Let's expand background checks to all gun purchases. Let's close loopholes that let known and suspected terrorists buy guns. Let's commit resources to make smart guns that are less dangerous to children who find them. A little girl was killed while sitting on her porch, right next to her mother. Say her name, Tamia Sanders, and honor her memory with more than a moment of silence. I yield back.